Howdy, Possum Patty here, and well, I'm just journaling. Come on along. Well, you know, I keep saying this, I am anxious to get this journal finished. And so in my quiet time this morning, I started laying out a few papers, and as promised, I'm going to journal about Mr. Possum's shipbuilding today. And I was going to put it in the, really the only spread I have left, the only two pages next to each other, which is in the center of the last signature. Last, there's only two, first and last. And I decided that I did not want this background, even though I love these butterflies. They're going to get covered up, but that's okay. That's okay, because I only have then this page and one page there, one page there, one page there, one page there, and one page at the end. So yeah, single pages, 1, 2, 3, 4 single pages after that. I was thinking about doing it here and then going on to the next page. But then I decided there was something else I wanted to put across from this, so that's not going to work. All right, so anyway, this is going to get covered up. So this morning in my quiet time, I started pulling a few papers, and I know they're not nautical at all. Well, one is. Well, let's go over there. I'll show you. I know. Look at this mess. It was neat a second ago. And then I pulled out my printer to print some pictures out, which I'll show you in a second, to go on the journal pages. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to work on the journal pages flat on this table and then paste them in because the book is getting very, very chunky. And even in that center, it's kind of on a curve here, it's kind of bendy. So I just thought it'd be easier to do them and then paste them in since I'm covering this up anyway. So I can put that aside, get it out of the way, and just work with some papers. Now, the first thing that I wanted to use on this spread was this. And this I had distressed, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. I think when I was very first junk journaling, I was going to use these brochures. I believe this is from Mystic Seaport about the ship Davy Crockett. Not Davy Crockett the person, the ship's name was Davy Crockett. And I used some of it, but I didn't use all of it. And I still had this floating around in my piles of junk. So I thought this would be fun to use on these pages. I decided not to go with anything nautical, just sort of like tones to match this, sort of brownish. Here it is. That's the title. But you know what? I'm going to flip this over and use this to journal on. This came off of that paper there. So I'm going to put the pictures on these. This was my original idea. To put the pictures on these two spreads. So I have a little bit, the panels are the same paper, fleur-de-lis. I think this is from Tattered Time, and the other papers are from various scrapbooking paper packs. But I'm going to repeat this over here, and I'm going to repeat that background over here, probably as a frame for a picture. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I have this really big book called Chums. And this is Stories for Boys from 1936, is it from? 1938. This is from 1938. And it has mostly black and white pictures. but it has a few color plates, and one of the color plates was the ship. And I thought maybe in the spread, on one page, I already sliced and diced it a little bit here. See, like that. I was going to just make a, what do you call these now? Oh my gosh. Tuck in, flip outs, something like that. So I was going to fold this on this line here and put that part underneath this brown paper like that, okay? And so that'll be on the page, and then flip it out. I know I got to cut it this way. So we'll have a ship on that side and then a ship on this side to go along with Mr. Possum's boat building. And then I have the pictures, and I'm going to talk about his boat in just a few minutes. So what I'm going to do, I think, is to cut this down and then back the photos on something and arrange how I'm going to put them. Oh, and then I thought, well, maybe I should line this with something since this paper is like 90 years old, 80 years old, something. And I found this, and I know none of this is nautical. It's more botanical than anything, but I think overall that it kind of gives it a little bit of an antique-y feel. These brown colors, this tattered time, this old ship. Even these, they're a little distressed. I mean, even though they're botanical, they're, I don't know, I think they're a little vintage looking. So then I thought I would use flowers, right? I'm journaling about boats. You don't always have to use themed paper for something you're journaling about. So if you want to journal about boats and you don't have any boat scrapbook paper, that's perfectly fine. You don't need a themed paper for everything. So I'm just going with muted colors to match this vintagey picture. And to me, this is working. And I know this is just gold and brown. It goes with these papers here. But, you know, I'll just be putting something on it. Do some journaling. You know, I could jazz it up with something. I got some of this paper left too. So most of it will be covered up with cards and journaling and pictures anyway. So I mean, I think overall that it's going to work. It's a junk journal. It is going to work. I'm going to cut this and be right back. Well, this got way more complicated than what I had planned on. I just stopped the camera to work on the first boat picture. And what I did was I finished printing out the pictures I wanted on the spread and giving them a little bit of a background. And I decided while I was doing that, I would go ahead and do a little bit of journaling, get that ready to glue down. And then I just started adding bits and pieces all over the place. So I'm going to try to explain this as I glue it down. So I'll save this for last, which is actually the first ship, the pirate ship. I'll talk about that in a minute. And these two pieces are attached. And let's see. Maybe I can glue, well, I want to show you what I did. So I'm going to carefully move those over there. And I will carefully move all of this over to here. Okay, so there's the ship from the old book. And I cut it a little bit smaller than the page so it'll be easy to turn. And I did take a piece of mailing envelope, some Tyvek, and glue it right where it's going to fold. And then I glued this paper to the back of it. So hopefully now this is supported because it's very old. And then I glued that folding part that I folded over or under to the back of the paper. I'm going to glue down to the page in the journal. So when you turn to the page, it'll look like that, and then you have to flip it open. So on the first page, which is the back of the boat, I decided I would put the pictures first, telling about his shipbuilding. So I'm going to glue these down while I talk about that, and then I'll get to this page. But I need to move this somewhere so I can bring up my glue paper. And the first things I'm going to glue down are the two panels for the background. I have this fleur-de-lis, it's embossed, and I just plain green, ferny looking paper, but I did distress this paper because it was pretty light colored. And so then I went ahead and distressed everything else. So the fleur-de-lis is going to go on the top, and the ferns are going to go on the bottom, and this is going to reflect the panels that will be on the next two pages. So the first picture is Mr. Possum, and this is what he did last winter. He set up the folding card table in the back room, as you can see there, and just started building ships. In the background you can see some poster boards that he bought at the Dollar Tree, and he had a couple pieces of cardboard also. So the story goes that he first went in there to do this, and then all of a sudden the table was gone, and I looked in the trash and I saw the boat sitting in the trash. I put this sticker on the picture, "The struggle is real," right? And I was like, oh no, after all that work, he threw it in the trash. And all of a sudden, the card table was gone. I'm like, oh, he got mad. That's it. He's not going to do any more. He's done. Put the card table away. Didn't talk about it. And then, all of a sudden, he's like, we have to go to the Dollar Tree. I've got to get some more poster board. The card table comes back up from the basement, and we're back in business again. Well, apparently he called the first one that went into the trash a prototype, and he was just trying to figure out how to, what materials and how to construct the bow of the ship. Now, he's not using a pattern of any kind. He cut all the pieces out himself, fitted them together. I don't know how he figured out how to do this. But he just like doing it from his head. He's just like, what's going to work? What's not going to work? How can I do this? I think he did watch a few people build things on YouTube, sort of to get some ideas on how to construct it. But mostly this was like his own pattern, his own ideas to come up with the materials. So I thought that was quite amazing. Mr. Possum can be very crafty. He built the weather vanes and the cupola and a couple other things around here too. So he likes to build things. He likes to do things with his hands, construct things. And yeah, so he was at it for quite a while. Now, the first, cat's banging at the door. The first ship he built was the pirate ship. It's a black ship. It was going to be the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean, but the Black Pearl has black sails, and for some reason he didn't want to put black sails. He just didn't want to put black sails, so he actually wound up making white sails And then I gave him some paint and or ink or something, and he sort of made him like a parchment color. I don't know if you can hear that banging on the door. That might be Stinky Winky Woo. That's a big banging at the door. She's a big cat. Let me in, let me in. She hears me talking at you all. And she's like, oh, I gotta go in, I gotta go in. So this pirate ship, which was going to be the Black Pearl, but turned out not to be the Black Pearl, has so many little tiny details in it. So starting with the mermaid on the front of the ship, you can go to the deck of ship and there's a cannon, and then if you go up there's rigging, and you can see how the sails are hand sewn onto the beams that go across. I have no idea what you call those, I'm sorry. And the mast, the little arms that come off the mast. And then at the top you've got your pirate flags. And you come back down, there's more rigging. You can see the lines going up and down the masts, along the sides of the ship. There's little portholes that open up, and you can see the little cannons sticking out. The cannons are brass. I think they're shells. Maybe from 22. I'm not sure. I don't know my calibers, but that's what they look like. They're little ones. Just so many details. You can see the planking on the side of the ship. My goodness. You really put a lot into building that. And when you look at it, I mean, it's not made out of wood. It is made out of poster board from the Dollar Tree. Poster board from the Dollar Tree. So, they put everything away, and then all of a sudden everything comes out again, and he decides to make a Viking ship. What do you call them? A longboat? Viking longboat? I don't know what you call them. Viking longboats. Which is a completely different animal, but still with the detail. And still, I mean, this is just out of poster board from the Dollar Tree, you know. It's not even like balsa wood or whatever it is they make models out of, you know. Not a kit. Not a kit. Oh, you know what? Oh, shoot, I was going to put something under here. Where's the piece that I was going to put under there? Is it going on that one? No, this is going on this one. No, it's going on that one. Okay, my bad. It's going on this one. Okay, my bad. My bad, my bad. Okay. So now this stuff goes here. Yeah, so the Viking ship has this like dragon-like head, and then it comes down and you can see this shield and the oars, a lot of details, and this red fabric sail. Actually, I gave him that red material. You might recognize that. I've used that in journals. Okay, so when I put the ship in, I had to trim it so it would fit on the page. So this is the trimmings, and I was thinking of adding this to here and get a little bit of wave and clouds. And I had just this green, but I decided to add on some of this gold and then put this on top of all of that. And there's my journaling. And there's the, I was going to put the submarine there, and no, submarine there, and the Viking ship there maybe. Somehow. somehow get this all on here in a way that I'm happy with. So this is bringing, you know, from the boat, bringing that over. I use this fern paper back there. This fern paper I have there, and this flowered paper I put over here. And of course you've got the fleur-de-lis back there and the gold from here. So even though it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds of paper here, it's sort of like all going together. Plus this goes with a picture on the other side. A black pirate ship with skull and crossbones, a Viking longboat complete with shields and oars, a submarine under construction. So down in the basement, because it's warm down there in the summer, is the paper submarine. It's hard to see the detail because it's, oops, it's all paper right now. But it'll get painted and you'll see the details later on when that gets finished. So I want everything to be off just a little bit. This is that way a little bit. This is that way a little bit. And then that's that way a little bit. And then that's over there like that. And that's going to be like that. And then the next page will be the pirate ship. So what's going down first? Okay, so let's move these over here and see what I'm going to do here. Okay, this is going to go first right there. Now because he's been engaged in this shipbuilding, my sister, or somebody had given my brother-in-law this huge model of the Titanic. And so they didn't know what to do with it. So they're like, oh, let's give it to Mr. Possum. So, because he's into this shipbuilding. So after he finishes this submarine, I don't know, maybe this winter. Now this is a kit though, and everything he's made so far is not a kit, not a pattern. This is just him making. I don't know how he does it. This is just him making. But now he's got this huge kit to do the Titanic. So we shall see what happens with that. Don't ask me why I put so many layers. I don't know. Just got started with them and kept going. He always has to do something, which is good. He likes me to entertain him. What are we going to do today? Yeah, go build this ship. Now he's got something to do. In the summertime, he's outside. He's working with the lawnmower and, you know, doing stuff outside. In the wintertime, there's no lawn to mow. You know, and once you shovel the snow, that's it. It's shoveled. He also plays his video games in the summer. I'm sorry, in the winter. And usually does not do that all summer. They're put away. No video games in this summer. Don't ask me why I decided to add this. I don't know. It's an accent piece. It's an accent piece. So this is the original 80-year-old paper here. The cat hasn't given up banging on the door yet. but I'm probably going to have to get up and check the camera anyway before it shuts itself off. Okay, let the fat cat in. These are not in the order that he built them, but that's okay. That's not okay. I mean, that's not okay. That is okay. That is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Like that. Well, there's a lot of little fussy stuff with these pages. And you know me, I keep counting the pages. 4 more to go, 4 more to go. This will be done, this will be done. But I keep telling myself, don't rush, don't rush. Make it nice, make it nice. I have, so when I'm done with this, I have a bunch of things to put into the Hello Autumn journal. And stay down. Everything's staying down. Don't like when things pop up. That page is getting all gunky already. I try to keep looking for dry spots because I don't like to get glue all over the pictures, but it never fails anyway. Put it the right side up. Well, I do have an idea for the last page in this journal. And I think I know what I'm putting on the other pages. And I thought I would get much further along today than what I did. But so now on this one, I had just this green panel here, the fleur-de-lis. I was going to put this there, and I'm going to put this ship there. And then I kind of like didn't like it because it was all kind of going this way. So I thought maybe I would break it up with this, because there's a lot of this on the other page. And then I'm like, okay, now I still have everything going this way. I need something going horizontal, too much vertical here. And so this piece of the ocean is from the bottom of the picture. I thought, well, maybe I can just tuck the ocean in underneath to break that up. And I really do love that spot of green right there. I mean, it just really goes with that fleur-de-lis paper. I want the boat to be a little bit off center. And I want this to kind of be like that. And I want that to kind of be like that. And that is just plain, just going across just like that. Maybe even up there a little bit. Really don't want it right in the middle. So I know this is a strange layout, but you know. Okay, that's going to be like way over there. Okay. It's just Possum Patty, right? It's a Possum Patty composition. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and glue all this down so I can get it into the journal. Okay, remember, this is what it looks like before. And now I'm going to show you what it looked like after. Ta-da! Here it is. So I have a very old book page, which is my flip. I have like 6 kinds of scraps of scrapbooking paper. Mr. Possum hard at work at the table, the first prototype into the garbage, my little bit of journaling, more journaling, the submarine that's being built right now in the basement, the Viking longboat, the black pirate ship, and this is from a flyer that I got at Mystic Seaport. Some more of the painting back here and across it there. So there it is all together. And this is how it goes. And I like it, even without any nautical scrapbooking paper. I think it came together quite well. I am pleased with it. And even though I thought I would finish this book, and I did 2 pages, at least that is 2 more pages done. I'm overlapped a little bit there, but you know what? I don't know if I want to trim that or just leave it. This might be a little bit too long. I cut it short, but it might be okay. All right, so we still have, here goes the count again. 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages. And I know what I'm going to put here. And I think I know what I'm going to put there and there and there. So anyway, that is it for today. I did a lot, even though I thought I would get more pages done. This spread wound up being 3 pages, didn't it? 4, counting that one. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.